Demon, Montana. Clawing my way from the depths of hell to haunt the nightmares and steal the lives of many, I earned the name Demon. Hardened by a life that no one should live, I had rules that governed my existence. Not caring, no intimacy, no love. And then I saw her, Dream. Beautiful, brave, bold. And for 30 days, she was mine. I would follow my rules, have her body, ignore her heart. Then she looked at me like she knew me, like she saw me, like she loved me. And I knew 30 days weren't nearly enough. Dream Castle. Brilliant and badass, I was my family's fixer. I was the queen of negotiating and smoothing ruffled feathers. I had never met a situation I couldn't talk us out of until my brother crossed the wrong family and they would accept only one payment for that debt, me. For 30 days, I was supposed to give myself to a man so brutal, they called him Demon. I had to follow his rules, honor his demands, be available to him only. When I met him, he had nightmares in his cold green eyes, and the enemy's blood splattered on his hard inked body. How could I survive a month with a monster without losing myself? Except those eyes seemed to thaw a little each time he looked at me, and his chiseled body fit perfectly against mine. There was so much more to the enigma called Demon, so many things that made him my Damien. Suddenly, the only thing I was worried about losing in 30 days was my heart. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the Bibliophile's Bookcase. I am your host, Erica the Bibliophile. Now, I must admit, I had this book in my library. I borrowed it September 5th, and I did not read it until like a week ago. And as soon as I started, I could not put it down. Now, I've read Elle Kayson before. We did um, the Kinsey family. I read all five of those books on here before. So this is a new family, or set of families, the Castles and the Montana slash Ware family. So let's jump right into it. I do want to let you know that if you pick up this book for yourself, it's a lengthy read. It's 750 pages, but it's so worth it. I love this story. So let's jump into it. So we start the book off with Damon. Damon has a best friend by the name of Eve who is in a domestic violence relationship. So it's actually the boyfriend slash baby daddy. It's his point of view, and he goes to the door thinking that it's Eve coming back. So he talking shit, but when he opens the door, standing there is Demon. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, at first you don't know it's Demon, but it's just like this intimidating figure. And it's like, oh shit, she called him. So, he starts backpedaling, like, no, we just had a misunderstanding. But he hit not only Eve, but their child as well when the child tried to get in between the situation. And so Damon is like, hit me like you hit them. And he's like, no, it wasn't like that. But, he beat him so bad till he killed him. And that's the end of the baby daddy. But yes, Demon is someone who is very guarded, doesn't talk to a lot of people, doesn't talk to people at all, really. Um, but he has a brother by the name of Dante. And, they do business together. Dante, he's like the big boss of the city, the state, whatever. Everybody's scared of him. Now, let's go over to the Castle family. So we have Dream. Uh, I forgot the brother's name because really, fuck the brother. Um, but it's the brother and what was her name? Her name was Crystal. Um, Crystal is Dante's daughter. Now, he had plans to marry her off to somebody else for a deal. It's like, she was to basically be a bargaining tool, but they ran off, got married, and she's pregnant. So they're standing in front of Dream's daddy. I forgot his name too, because fuck him too. I'm gonna just call him Daddy Castle. Uh, he's like, and he's blown up. He's like, I know you was not this stupid. I know you was not this stupid to run off and marry this man's daughter when you know that he will kill you. And so Dream is the family fixer. She's the one that they send in to take care of all of their problems. And so, they set up a meeting to try to talk this over. Like, we'll do everything we can, but please don't kill him. They're in love, they're married, whoop de whoop, whatever. And so Dante's looking at her and he starts smiling and he's like, yeah, a daughter for a daughter. And so Dante is married, so they're like, how that's gonna work? You finna have it for your son? He's like, no, not for me, for my brother. And so Demon was already there taking care of some other business they had going on. So he calls him in, and this man walks in. He ain't got no shirt on, but he's covered in blood. And of course she's appalled because I'm like, who would be appalled? Like, nigga, you're covered in blood. And then for them to say, I'm going with you, yeah, I'd be scared too. But that was the deal. She goes with Demon for 30 days, doing whatever, however he wants it for 30 days. And so to save her brother's life, she actually does it, which everybody is upset. Like, no, you can't do this. No way out. The brother was like, I'll go talk to him. But it's like, there's nothing you can say. This man is cutthroat. And you knew that before you even married his daughter and got with his daughter. So you doing this, like, just stay your stupid ass over there and I'll go handle it. And so Demon likes her. Like, he likes what he sees. And he comes and picks her up and take her to his house. Now, she was complaining, but I feel like I'd have been right at home because she said the house was cold. I love a cold house. Like, cold temperatures. I hate being hot, but that's just a personal thing. But she's like, man, it's too fucking cold in here. How the fuck you live in here? And so things start off rocky because it's like, this nigga don't talk. He's, to the outside world, it's like, this nigga's crazy. Something is off about him. And he also has nightmares, but we'll get to that later. So, it's the start of like them getting to know each other. Like, but he's so damn rude. He one of them types where it's like almost everything he says, it's like, nigga, just please stop talking. And as they're getting to know each other, she's starting to think like she's creeping her way in. Like, we on level ground. Like, I can talk to him, it's cool. But then it's like he always do some shit to remind her, this ain't what you think it is. We not like that. Like, I don't. It's just for 30 days, and after 30 days, I'm done with your ass. So don't be trying to get to know me. None of that shit. So, but he does concede because like while he talking all that shit, he know he like her, and every time she goes to call him Demon, he's like, you don't call me that. My name is Damien to you. So, of course, that's going to make her feel away. Like, ooh, I get special treatment. I get to call the nigga by his name. Woo, woo. Now, what is it? We have another sister of the Castle family. Her name is, I was saying Diana, is spelled Dayana, but Diana. Um, so, because this is like a little side story. Um, she is engaged to some guy named John, which this was another bargaining chip, like wedding, whatever, for him to make a deal. So, but she caught that nigga cheating, so she really like off him. And then we all listen. There are so many people in this book. It's so good though. We have Smoke. Like, Smoke is another like quote unquote big player. in this city where he owns restaurants, but also this nigga carries around a knife that he just whips out at any second and be slicing niggas up. Um, so him and Diana meet, and she has him like with what is it, whisk her away for a night, and it's like, I just want to be with you for the night, no bullshit. And so he's thinking they're just gonna have sex. Come to find out, she's never had sex before, even with her fiance. She's a virgin. And he like, damn, I wish you would have told me. And she's like, why does it matter? We're never gonna see each other after this. And he's like, I don't do virgins because they get to acting clingy, and that ain't really what I'm about. And she basically checked him real quick, like, ooh, you can check that ego because I ain't think about your ass. Like, after this, it's all good. Like, we is not gonna see each other anymore. But they kept running into each other, and like one time, Diana was and Dream were having lunch, and it was at his restaurant. He comped for their meal, came over, talked to her, and Dream like, oh, what is this? What's going on here? And she's like, oh no, he's just a friend. He's just cool. Just somebody I know. And Dream like, yeah, bitch, okay. Um, and anytime she is out of Damon's sight, he calling like, "Where you at? I'm coming to pick you up. You coming to my house?" Because she would always try to, like, just call me when you want me to come over, and then like when they're done having sex, she would try to leave. He's like, "No, you stay here. Like, you are mine for 30 days until I say it's over with." And so I don't, I kind of felt the way because it was like, Dream Girl, I need you to snap out of it at some point and just like take it for what it was. And um, what am I trying to say? That's kind of like a double edged sword because even when she would try to like snap out of it, oh, I didn't snap right. Snap out of it and take her feelings out of it. That's when he would like rein her back in. It's like, damn, no, I can't be like this with her because I don't want her to feel that way. So, this is where he starts getting emotions and feeling things because it's like, even though I shouldn't, I like this worrisome ass girl. Um, so he has a lake house. They go spend time out at the lake house. Um, who was it? Um, so he brings no, Eve shows up at his house. Sorry. And she's coming downstairs with her bags and stuff, getting ready to go. And so she see Eve on the couch, like, you really got somebody here while I'm here. And so he never clears it up because Eve tries to, she tries to introduce herself, like, I'm his, and he cuts her off like, Eve, don't tell her shit. It's not her business. So she's thinking that he has, I don't know if you want to call it a girlfriend, but it's like he has somebody um this whole time. So it's like, why did he even make this deal if he got somebody? So, she tries to leave and it's like, nigga, I'll be here when you call me, but after that I'm leaving. Um and then so we get into Demon's backstory. His mother was an addict and he was being abused by his, I guess you could call him, stepfather. Um And it's like, he got the stepfather, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him. He got the mother hooked on drugs and would basically whore her out and have her doing all type of shit for money. But then it's like the fact that she actually did it to please him, then he was upset because it's like, you really hoeing yourself out for drugs. And it's like, but nigga, you literally caused this and you mad that she actually did it. So, and then the fact, like, as a child, he had to watch well, he didn't have to, but it's like, he's a child. He's not going to stay in the room the whole time. So he would see his mother drugged up and having sex with like multiple men. And then anytime he would try to come out and get food for his little, because he had a little sister, um, the stepfather would abuse him. So, he has trauma from all those years ago and of not being able to eat. So even though it is like a trauma response, I thought it was so cute. He did not play about eating or like skipping meals. It's like, you gonna eat with me, or I'm gonna make sure that you eat at some point. Because even one time, like, she called this nigga on FaceTime, like, just talking. He like, girl, what the fuck? And so when she's about to hang up, he's like, what did you eat today? And she's like, I haven't had a chance to eat. I've been so busy. So he goes to a restaurant he knows that she likes and just buys a whole bunch of food and brings it into her office and gives some to, I think she was her receptionist. Like, here, take some of it, and then goes wait in the office for her. And like, you gonna eat this food because we not playing that. Um, so at some point, Demon's mama pops back up, and but chat. Wait, I forgot. So I don't know if I said, Diana's fiance. She caught him like doing some BDSM shit and cheating. So she was, although they were still engaged and she was going through with the wedding, she was not talking to that nigga. She would not spend any time with him, nothing like that. And so, like, they literally get to the day of the wedding. She's standing up there, they're reciting their vows, but she can't say it. She's just like, I, I. And so, Smoke stands up in the middle of the wedding and it's just like, Diana. And she turns towards that nigga. He's like, come here. And she started giving very much a different world. She let that nigga John hand go and started walking towards Smoke. And John's daddy, whoever he is, he stood up and gonna tell Daddy Castle, you better do something, stop her motherfucking ass. And so when Demon stands up, that makes Dante stand up because he's like, I got my brother's back. And Demon like, nah, he good. Like, and so they run away together, and he was taking a smoke. Um, he was taking a vacation with his mom and his daughter anyway, so he whisked her away again with him on a vacation. Like, just come with me, take this week to get your mind right, and when we come back, I'll help you straighten it all out. So she agrees. Now, Smoke, he had a wife, but she had cancer and passed away. So he's constantly living in the past of, I love my wife, I fuck these hoes, but I'm never gonna love anybody again. And he's in his 30s, acting like he's 60, and Diana, she's a fresh 21. So there's or 22. So there's a 10-year gap between them, and but he likes her, so he's like, I'm not willing to let her go. Um, And of course, during this time they on vacation together, the daughter is getting close to her, and at one point she asked her, oh, because I forgot that night they had a sex together when she was a virgin. She had a tiara on, and the daughter had came into the room and was like, "Is she a princess?" And then she sees her again on her wedding day, because she still had her gown on and all that type of stuff when she got on the plane. So the daughter believes she's a princess, but like I said, they're spending time getting to know each other. Excuse me. And she's like, "Will you be my stepmommy?" And so Smoke like distracts her and gets her focused on something else. And later on, when it's just those two, Diana asks him like, what are you going to tell her? And he's like, I just explained to her that you're not going to be her stepmother, and that I'm not looking for one, and she's not going to have one. And I understood the response. It's like, even though like logically that makes sense, and he's absolutely right, but still, it's just like, damn, the way you dismiss me so casually, that shit hurts. So it's like she tensed up, but then she's like, yeah, you're right, absolutely. Um, And so he when they get home, she's like, drop me off at a hotel, so you can get back to your life, because that's what they agreed on. It's like, on this vacation, we're going to have a good time, but when we get back, we're going to go back to how things were. So she tells him, drop me off at a hotel and we'll keep it pushing. Because while I like you, I'm also not going to be fighting against a dead woman that you refuse to let go of. And so he drops her off at a hotel. And his mama looking at him like he's stupid. And he like, what? She said she want to come to a hotel, so I'm taking her to a hotel. And the mama like, boy, you can't be that damn stupid. Go get that girl and bring her back to your house. And so he goes into the hotel to hear um the what are they called? The concierge tell her, ma'am, I'm sorry, but that card was declined too. So you could tell she had tried a card before that, and Smoke knows what's going on. uh, Daddy Castle really cut her off and basically disowned her from the family. And so he tells her, come on, you go on with me. And of course she's embarrassed, but she literally she does have a place to go, because she was like, no, it's okay. I'll call my brother or my sister. Smoke like, man, stop playing with me and come the fuck on. I told you I got you, and I do. And, he was already ready to beat Daddy Castle ass. So he got one more time and it's over. And so back to Demon and Dream. One night, because they had one on a date, he took her on a date, and they coming back to his house, and he sees two figures outside his house, and it's his mama, which is like, do not call that bitch his mama. Her name is Melody, um, Melody, and a young boy. So she done had another son, and she's asked Damon, sorry, to take him in because she's sick, and I believe she has cancer, and so she's going into hospice. So she's like, I need someone, or surgery. No, she was going to have surgery, and she's like, I need someone to look after him until I get better. And at first, Damon wasn't gonna do it. He like, man, take you and this little nigga and get the fuck away from my house. Like, first of all, how do you even know where I live? That was another thing that got him hot. He like, how the fuck you even know to find me? But in the end, he tell her, take your bitch ass home, and tells his little brother, get your shit and come on, or you gonna be staying out here by yourself. And so Dream, she offers to help him with his stuff, and even like, I wish the fuck you would let him carry all his shit inside. So they have a awkward relationship because Melody was clean, and I guess a good mother to the younger son. And so he looking at Damon like, you gonna stop talking about my mama like that? But y'all experience two different versions of y'all mama. So it's just like, while the younger son only sees her one way, Damon like, man, fuck that bitch. Yeah, fuck you too if you feel a way about it. Um, and so they're settling into life together, and oh, I forgot. It was like early in the book too. Um, she asked him about a locked door that he had, and that nigga had a fit. He like, don't you ever go near that fucking door. Do you understand me? And it was crazy because they was having a good time, like having a good ass conversation. And it was like, next thing you know, that nigga was like, don't you, giving very much Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Don't you ever go to that side of the castle. Um, but I'm bringing that up to say, because the younger brother could draw, and Damon had had asked him, like, where do you want to go so I can get you some stuff? And so he asked to go to pick up like some sketch pads and some pencils and stuff. And so Damon like, you draw or something like that. And at first, it's like the way he said it, the brother shut down, like, man, nah. But he like, no, that's a good thing. So come to find out, he's Damon is an artist himself. Excuse me, damn. And he's very good. Like, a painting that Dream had in her office, he gifted her one for her birthday, saying, like, this is an original. Nobody ever has had it. anything like that. Come to find out, he's that artist, but he's painting under a different name, where it has to do with his mother and like her maiden name and stuff like that. So nobody would ever, bring it back to him. So it's like, wow, that was something that we didn't know about him. But that was the room that he had locked up that he works in. So she's like, nigga, you could just say you a painter instead of being so fucking dramatic. But so what else happens? So the stepdaddy popped back up. Okay, my bad. I forgot. Um Another part of Damon's childhood, because he was treated so bad, the stepfather's sister would force him, Damon, she molested him. And then she brought friends in to molest him as well. So one night he set the house on fire, killing the sister, the Lord, killing the sister and another woman. And then unfortunately, he also killed another woman because she was in the bedroom sleep. He didn't know she was there, but he purposely was trying to kill those two because they molested him. And so the brother knows that Demon killed his sister. So he's been plotting ever since. So there's a guy who works at Dreams. What do you want to call it? Is it a law firm? Like, he works with her. Um, and he been hitting on Dream, acting like he want to talk to her, want to date her, and all that type of stuff. Come to find out that he's actually the stepfather's nephew, and it was all a part of the plan in the long end. So they kidnap Dream, and Demon kidnaps uh the stepfather's. He has a daughter now, and the younger brother and this daughter, like, they're friends. So one day he picked them up, and she don't like her daddy anyway, so she like, fuck it, I'll help you to get him. And so when they walking in, she like, grab my hair, you got to make it look real. um he like, man, the fuck wrong with these kids? And so when they walk in, he's like, an even trade. Give me my girl back and you get your daughter. And so I forgot the guy's name. It started with a P, but he's like, yeah, sure. And the stepfather's like, no. He's like, what you mean? And he's like, no, that's not a good trade. Think smarter. And then he tells his daughter, you're a kid. He doesn't kill kids, so you're okay. Thinking like that makes it okay. But in the end, the daughter ends up shooting and killing her own daddy, because it's like, you don't know what he capable of. You think you still know that little boy, but you don't know him. And you was going to let him take me, so fuck you. Um, but Dream finds out that she's pregnant, and they, like, Damon and Dream, they've been doing back and forth. It's like, I love you, but I hate you. And this relationship just ain't good. So she left and disappeared. And Demon was losing his mind, because it's just like, he liked her, but he couldn't say it. He couldn't express his feelings, because this is more than like. Um, And so, even when she found out she was pregnant, it was like, I forgot she was a virgin too. The Castle girls, they were both virgins, and popped that pussy for a real nigga real quick. But anyway, so she goes away to find herself, and when she comes back, he scoops her right back up. But she's like, this cycle has to end. And at one point, she had suggested therapy for him, but he like blew it off. But while she was gone, he had been going to therapy and getting some of his emotions out. So he takes her to a therapy session with him, just to express his feelings. And she had wrote a letter to him while she was gone, expressing her love. And it's like, this is why I can't be with you, because you don't love me back, but you'll never read this letter, so it doesn't matter. And while they're in the therapy session, he tells her, I found your letter, I read it, and you don't understand how much you've changed me. Like, I let you get away with a whole bunch of shit that I would never let anybody else get away with. And you have my heart. I love you. Like, and she's like, you don't say that. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? I hate people who say, don't I show you with my actions? While, yes, that may be true, I also need to hear the words. Because people who do acts of service for people, that could just be them being a nice person. That don't necessarily mean I should know that you are in love with me and want a relationship with me. Especially not your ass, how difficult you are. And nigga, how you at every turn was telling her, like, basically, you just a fuck to me. You just a fuck. You're not anybody special. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know? So, in the end, they're in love. And I'm going to assume that they get married, although it's never said. But we have an epilogue of she has 4 children, 4 boys. Um, and Diana and Smoke are together. They finally got their shit together because he's like, I love my wife, but I love you too, and I'm not willing to let you go either. So, I'm gonna put her in the past, but she still has a place in my heart. Which Diana is like, of course, that was never the issue. Um, Daddy Castle, oh shit, how could I forget this? Daddy Castle took Diana, like when they came back from the trip, he took her back to John, and John like kidnapped her and had her on a boat and was like whipping her with an actual whip and like fucked her back up and it's like, you're gonna stay with me and you're gonna make up for what you did to me. And Smoke got some help from his daddy who popped back up all of a sudden, and they got her back, and she was pregnant. So in the end, it's Dana announcing that she's pregnant and then letting Dream know that she's pregnant because every time that they've been pregnant at the same time. So this is baby number 5, and it's their girl, and they live happily ever. So yeah, it was just funny because it was like, what is it? It was actually like the oldest boy. It was like 10 years later, the epilogue, and he's telling the story of how he's looking at his parents because she was upset. She was like, "Why do you keep doing this to me?" And Damien follows behind her like, I just want to know why you act like you don't ever want my babies. And she like, nigga, I love all of my kids, but they got your big ass head. So having to push out 4 of those, and then I'm about to push out another one. And he's like, but baby, this is our daughter. It's different. She don't be smaller. And she said something like, you buying me a new body. He like, no, I want the one that you got. And so, what is it? The younger brother, oh, because I forgot. Damn, I'm all over the place, ain't I? The younger sister popped back up in the picture. Demon's younger sister. She was found after all these years because after a certain point, uh, Damon's actual father came and got him, and that's how he was got connected with his brother Dante. So it's like he had a whole nother life, and he never knew what happened to his younger sister and what Melody did with her. But she was found. Dante found her, and they reconnected. But she went back to her life because she had a whole different life. But I brought that up to say, after Melody died in the hospital because the stepfather came and killed her and actually took like a selfie with her. Um, Damon gave him the option, like, you can either stay here with me or you can go with the younger sister and live with her if you want to. And he decided to stay with Damon. Like, no, I want to stay here with you. Even though they argue back and forth, he's like, I like it here. So, boom. Um, where was I going with that? Oh, it's at the end, the epilogue. He comes through the door with the same girl, the stepfather's daughter. But she's like more, what I want to say, like more meek, more demure. Like she's wearing all black. She's sticking to the younger brother's side. And when Damon sees her, he's like, man, what the fuck she doing here? And the story ends with the younger brother saying, oh, you remember her? She's my fiance now. And it's like, hold up, what the fuck is going on here? But anyway, beautiful, please go pick up this book. I feel like I butchered the explanation, but the book is so good though. I loved it. And because you know how when people make like 3, 4 parts, I feel like if she was one of those other authors, she would have did that. But this was perfect as a standalone just by itself. I love this book so much. Please go pick it up. I'm mad. Like when I was reading it, I could not put it down, and I was actually mad at myself for letting it sit in my library so long that I went back and bought it. I was like, no, I have to have this. I cannot return this. This book is so good. So yeah, Elle Kayson, you did it again, girl. Fabulous story.